All right, today we're going to dive into a really fascinating idea. It's a new model for organizing work that could completely flip the script on how we think about companies. It's called the Agentic Enterprise OS, and trust me, it might just change everything.
So let's just start with a crazy question. What if you could assemble an entire software development team, not just a few freelancers, but a whole team in about the time it takes to grab a cup of coffee? A team that writes code, reviews its own work, and squashes bugs all by itself. I know it sounds like something out of a movie, but that's the core idea we're going to unpack right now.
To really get where we're heading, we've got to look at where we've been. Every big era of work has been defined by its bottleneck, right? Back in the industrial era, the limit was pure physical labor. Then, in the digital era, it was how fast we could manually punch in and process data. And that brings us to today, where the new bottleneck is something way more personal, our own human bandwidth.
Think about it. The modern corporation, when you really boil it down, was this revolutionary invention designed for one main thing: to organize and scale up human physical effort. Yeah, technology like the assembly line was a game changer, but it was always just a tool to amplify what people were already doing. Humans were always the engine.
Then, boom, the digital revolution hits. We went from clunky mainframes to the cloud. We built software for literally every task you can imagine. But here's the catch. We digitized all the processes, but we never digitized the workforce itself. Even the most advanced, high-tech company you can think of today is still, at its core, 100% human-operated. The tech is just the tool we use.
And this is where we hit this totally new reality. On one side, you've got these incredible AI models. They can reason at a PhD level, they can code faster than most senior engineers, they work 24/7, and they cost, what, like a penny per task? Then on the other side, you've got us. We're brilliant, we're creative, but we're limited. We work about 40 hours a week, we need vacations, and our cognitive bandwidth is a very real thing. For the first time ever, the tool is actually starting to outpace the person operating. And that leads to this huge mental shift. I mean, for all of human history, our tools were what held us back. Now, the bottleneck isn't the technology anymore. It's us. We are the constraint.
So if we're the bottleneck, what's the solution? Well, that brings us to the main event, the Agentic Enterprise. And look, this isn't about AI replacing people, or even just giving people better AI tools. This is a whole new model where intelligent AI agents and humans work together side by side like peers. Each one plays to their own strengths to get really complex work done.
Okay, so how does this actually play out? Let's break it down. First, you deploy specialized AI agents, kind of like you're hiring for specific jobs. You got your developer agent, your QA tester agent, and so on. Second, the human role shifts to being a supervisor. You're the one making the critical calls while the agents just crank out the work 24/7. Third, and this is so important, the agents actually learn your company's specific way of doing things. And finally, the whole system is built to get smarter on its own. It improves with every single task it completes.
And this is pretty much what that looks like. It's not your typical top-down org chart. Instead, you've got a human supervisor, the strategist really, who's overseeing a team of these tireless, super efficient agents. The human job isn't about doing the work anymore, it's about directing the work. You focus on the high-level judgment and strategy, and the agents handle all the execution. Let's talk money for a second, because the numbers here are just staggering. If you want to get the output of 10 developers in the traditional model, you're looking at about $2.5 million a year. In an agentic model, to get that same 10x output, it's about $180,000. The savings are, they're massive. We are talking over $2 million a year.
But look, the financial savings, as crazy as they are really just the beginning. The truly deep change here goes way beyond just being more efficient or cutting costs. It fundamentally restructures the entire organization. It redefines what and who is actually valuable.
And that leads to the ultimate outcome. When agents are doing most of the actual work, and that work is perfectly measurable, well, there's nowhere to hide. Office politics just kind of become irrelevant. The only thing that matters is competence. Your best people, your true innovators and strategists, they get elevated because their value is in directing these agent teams to produce incredible results. The system just naturally turns into a pure meritocracy of output. And all of this leaves us with one last big question. If agents are handling the execution, and the unique thing that humans bring to the table is judgment, strategy, and creativity, then what is the real core value of your company? What are you truly building? This shift doesn't just change how we work, it fundamentally changes what we work on, and that is a transformation that's really worth thinking about.